What's going on, road runners? It's your boy C-Dub, aka Whit, coming at you guys with a commentator video. And it's been a very long time since we've done commentated videos. But this one particularly is from Dominguez Hills, California. The race that you're about to see now is a category 4 or 5 race. Sit back, relax, and enjoy more from your boy C-Dub, aka Whit. Peace. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Again, thank you for clicking this video. This is the second race of the day at California Bicycle Racing, Dominguez Hills, upgrade points experience. As you see there, I am currently next to Irvin of 605, Pat's 605, and we are making our way through turn number 1. I'm not sure if you saw the big orange guy. Me and him got real close right before the first turn. So I was like, this race is going to be an interesting one. Also, this is the last race of the day, and I'm currently sitting behind Brandon Sanchez of Big Orange, as well as Michael Dahlbrat of Paddock Racing Team. And Michael is wearing the new Paddock Racing Team kit. Of the race. So right now you see the pace is slow. We're going 27 miles an hour. I started out really slow in this race. This is a 4-5 race. And again, you see me hanging behind Brandon Sanchez and Michael Dahlbrat. And I'm just hanging out in the back. You see Louis right there in front of the two of them. And now we are coming through turn number 4 and going to complete our first lap. And as I've mentioned to you all several times before, the first lap or the first 5 minutes of the race are usually the fastest one, but this one started out a little bit slower. I'm not 100% sure why. As you see, I'm pretty much in the back of the pack, and I'm kind of just cruising along. I think my wife was watching me like, why is he in the back? I think my coach was here. He was like, Whit's not looking good. He's in the back. And I was actually just kind of hanging out initially. So everything was okay. I was just kind of tail gunning right now, just hanging out in the back and just getting the legs moving again. I had probably about 35 minutes from the last race to this race. So, and I did a little bit of warm up prior, but just was sitting in the back. So I wasn't able to start on the starting line like I normally try to do, nor was I on the inside, as you guys saw at the start of the course. So I was in a little bit of a different position. So thus caused a little bit different start for me. And that's okay, as long as you can recover from it. So you see right there, Elicio coming up on my left-hand side with the Serious Cycling kit. And again, I'm still hanging behind Mike. And now I'm like, okay, it's time to move up. So Elicio had a little pocket in the middle. So I just followed his wheel all the way up. You see Edgar right there with engine 11. And I just kind of came up between everybody just to kind of get out of the wind and kind of move up a little bit within the pack. So we just went through turn number 3, and now I'm hanging behind Elicio of engine 11. So we're making our way. In this area right here, a lot of breakaways happen right here. A lot of people make efforts right here. This is in between turns number 3 and turns number 4. And so coming up currently on, I believe this is Brian 431, which is right in front of me. You see the GoPro on his head. So again, I'm just trying to stay inside of the pack, stay hidden, stay tucked in. If I'm on the inside, that's because, again, we're making right-hand turns. If I'm in the middle of the pack, it's just because I'm trying to draft and allow them to break through. So now you see me coming up on George of Pinwell Bicycles. We got Jared right there of iSpeed. So Jared pops in front of me, and you're going to see, and I've raced with Jared before. There's Tyler right there with Spark. That's their new team coming up this year, number 428, wearing the ASO skin suit. I mentioned him in the other commentary. But I'm currently sitting behind Jared, and I'm going to be behind Jared for a little while. And the reason is because Jared, you guys probably guessed it, is a larger rider. And you see Mike right there and Alicio going. So because I see them advancing, I tried to come off of Jared's wheel, but Jared put down some watts, jumped right back in front of me. I let that happen, so I jumped right back on Jared's wheel as we come through turn number 2. And now we're going. So you see here, it kind of felt like we had a little bit of a breakaway. Jared didn't stay on Alicio and Michael's wheel, so I stayed tucked in on Jared's wheel again because he punches a larger hole in the wind, and so I'm currently sitting tucked behind him. We're moving, we're going 26 miles an hour, and you see me now because I'm kind of off of his wheel, but I'm doing 400 watts, but when I tuck back in his wheel, you see my wattage easily goes back down to mid to low 100s. We come through turn number 3, and we are making our way. But what you can see if you can look around, Jared, is that we have a gap. So I am going to make an effort here pretty soon because I was not sure what was going to happen. And so right here, you saw the wattage went up to about 400 because there's a little bump in the road in between turns number 3 and 4. And as we come around turn number 4 here, I could see that we were not advancing, and I was not sure. So right here, I'm about to make an effort to go and try to catch that breakaway. And it kind of felt good. It also felt like I made a bad decision because I'm hitting over 1,000 watts for this effort as we come through the start and finish, and my wife is sitting on the left-hand side over there. So I felt good about it, but at the same time, I was like, was this a smart move? And I asked you, do you think this was a smart move? Now you may say, did you catch the breakaway? No, I did not catch the breakaway, but it was an attempt to see if I could make it, if I could bridge the gap. And you will see shortly Frank and Alberto that just passed me. They go, and Alberto made it the way that he, the effort that he had and the speed that he was moving. As you see, they go through turn number 2 right now. I believe Alberto made it over to the breakaway, but I did not make it, but I tried. So I ask you to leave down in the comment section below if you think that was a wasted effort, if I wasted a bullet or whatnot. I want to hear your comments, your opinions about that. So as you see, I get absorbed back into the peloton. We got Leo Buckthigh in front of me. We got Lagrange around me. And I believe Leo Buckthigh is a Cat 1 Pro. So he's helping out Brian McCullough with the VIP. But I'm just sitting in. You see these guys wearing the lime green or the high vis yellow. They are like coaches within the race because of the VIP experience that Big Wheel Coaching as well as K&J or California Bicycle Racing have put on for this particular event. So right now you see me sitting next to George and Tyler, and then we again just got people coming up on my left and right as I am again trying to stay in the middle of the pack, but also close to the inside so I can take a good line through the turns. So right now we have just gone through turn number 4 and we're making our way back to the start finish. This overall video is roughly 21 minutes long. So again, I ask that you would hunker in as I try to hunker in now in this race. I ask that you would get comfortable. I ask that if you're doing some type of indoor training because of inclement weather outside, I ask that you would, dial it up just a little bit and get your heart rate set and sit in here with me. If you're at home or at work, I ask that you would get that beverage of choice, get that snack. Don't get celery though, because I don't like it. But get that snack of choice and enjoy the rest of this vid with me. We are roughly about 9 minutes in, and we are just over 11 minutes to go. So right now I'm sitting on Lewis's wheel. Lewis is looking really skinny this year. So Lewis, if you watch these videos, man, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you did as I'm on my weight loss journey. And of course, right there, you saw Lewis and myself take 2 different lines through the turn. I took a wider line, I think because I was still kind of recovering from my effort. As you see, my heart rate now has just got back down to in the 160s. And I've also mentioned to you all before that I feel like in a race atmosphere that 160, anything in the 160s, my heart rate is I'm recovering. So right now I move up on Swami's. Not sure if that is Adam, whose wheel I'm on, or another. I believe there's 2 Swami riders in this race. I'm not sure which one it was. I couldn't see his number, but you see here, I'm sitting on a Swami's rider wheel, and I'm going to sit here for a little bit as we move up. And again, you see the KHS rider right there to my left. That is Brian McCullough of Pro Team KHS Elevate. And you know, if you want to know more information about him, you can always check him out at Big Wheel Coaching, and their information will be down in the description below for what they do and for what they offer. And they are a cycling coaching company. And he is working with Chris and Jeff Prince of K&J Racing, California Bicycle Racing, to put on the VIP experience that was being had on this particular day, which was December the 8th. So right now, as you saw, we just came through the start finish again, making turn number 1. And this race was very interesting to me because the pace was not as high. I felt a little bit more relaxed in this race, and probably because it was my second race of the day. But you see here, I'm not at the front. I'm not really hovering around the front. I'm kind of just hanging back. And I think this time, even though I've recovered, my heart rate is down. As you see, I got Brandon Sanchez in front of me again. I got Jared in front of me again. I got some people that I've raced with and around me. So I'm just kind of hanging out. I'm not really racing this one on edge, even though I still need one more top 10 finish with 31 or more riders to be able to cat up to category 3. So again, as you saw, I did with Eliseo earlier. Anytime I see these pockets on the inside and I feel confident and comfortable enough to move up on, I will move up and fill those pockets because a body can be there. And so if I have the ability, I try to get there. So right now, as you see, there's another pocket right here on Nick's wheel, that black and gray kid up ahead. And you see I will come up as momentum will carry me because I'm not pedaling at all, no wattage, no power, no cadence. I was able to, through momentum, come up and get up on Nick's wheel. And of course, Nick had won the category 4 race. And as I mentioned in the category 4 commentated video, I had marked Nick and 2 other gentlemen by the name of Mike. One that was with Serious Cycling, which is also in this race, and another which had on the green and burgundy kit. And if you did not see that commentated video, I ask that you would check it out, because I did mention in that video that I had marked those 3 individuals in the race. And I also put down in the comment section of that video, because I forgot to share it with you all, those 3 members finished 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So right now, I really didn't have anybody marked in this race as of yet, because actually I had Nick was marked because, again, I just raced with him, and Mike was marked once I saw him. And in this race, Mike didn't have any leg warmers on because it actually warmed up today. And the day turned out to be totally different than what was forecasted. I mean, it was beautiful. The road is dry now compared to earlier in the day, and it was supposed to not have been so beautiful. But interesting thing was the end of the day was the day just totally changed. But anyway, it was a beautiful race day, and I believe all of us racers was appreciative of that. So right now you see me pop inside, and now I'm going underneath everybody because I'm like, okay, bro, it's time to move up. There's Mike again. And so I move up as far as I could as we were coming to a turn. So I move up in hopes to be able to get in a good position. And I move up, and I find a nice wheel to get behind before we come through turn number 3. Make it through turn number 3. Now you see I'm next to George of Pinwheel Bicycles again, sitting on his wheel. We got Louis right there. We have a coach up there with the bright high-vis jersey. And now we're just making our way. And you see here in this category 4-5 race that we're like 5 abreast. See, this pace kind of slowed down right here. And I found a gap, and I got on Frederick's reel. So I got Louis right here to my right, and I got Brian McCullough just at my 11 o'clock. And so again, I'm in between riders, trying to stay out of the wind, drafting. Right there to my about 1 o'clock, right in front of George, that is, I believe, Mike of Serious Cycling. And so again, certain people just for some interesting reason, they stick out to me. And here is Jared again. And so I find myself just hovering back over to get on his wheel because he just provides me a better draft. So sitting on his wheel as we come through turn number 1, and we are making our way. We're currently sitting at just over 15 minutes in this video. And again, I ask if you have come across the Whit cycling videos, I ask that you would subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the Road Runner family. If you don't have a YouTube account, I ask that you would please go set up that free account. We all love things that are free. And I ask that you would come back to this video or any other of one of the videos that I have provided to YouTube. And I ask that you would subscribe to the Road Runner family. So you see right there to the left, Brian McCullough. You see I got Jared to my right. I have Louis just ahead of me. And so I'm staying tucked in. I'm staying inside, trying my best to stay out of the wind. You see my wattage. My wattage is super low. My cadence is high. That's very interesting. You know, high cadence, low wattage. So pretty much just free spinning. My wattage right now is less than 200. I'm inside the group. I'm going just as fast as they are, 22, 23 miles an hour, and not putting out any wattage. Now, of course, right before the turn and thereafter, there is, you see it surged up to 500 watts. And again, as I mentioned in the previous video, the category 4 video, the surging is what really got me in the category 4 race, where I was not able to finish as strong as I was able to come around in good position in the category 4 race. So right now you see me sitting just to the inside of Mike of Serious Cycling. And this was a rider whose wheel I had set on before. I left the gap, and him and the other Mike had actually broken away with like 1.5 laps to go. So currently sitting on his wheel, and I'm like, oh man, this is the guy whose wheel I was sitting on before. And I don't think I was as committed to his wheel, but yet I'm just trying to stay close and also staying out of the wind. So right now, this is a uphill portion. As you see, I hit over 400 watts in this section, going 23 miles an hour. It's because this finish is an uphill finish. So we're going through turn number 1, out of the wind, tucked in. Right now, I have, I believe that maybe Matthew. And again, you see Mike goes underneath and I follow. So then we have a Velosport guy kind of pops in. So I jump behind his wheel for a second. Was like, nope, that's not going to work. Came back inside, and then I jumped on, I want to say this may be Jose. Jumped on Jose's wheel and rolled on his wheel with the this nice green, and not green, but teal, navy blue, and pink kit right in front of me. So I jump on, I believe this is Jose, so jump on Jose's wheel, and I go back middle of the pack. We got Tyler right there at my 10 o'clock. And so now you see we're all riding on the outside, but yet this race is still like 4 or 5 abreast. I mean, you see people all the way on the inside as we're getting ready to come through turn number 3. You see people falling back, and we're kind of like just all over the place. And this is a category 4 or 5 race. And if there's one thing that you can take away from, you know, a major difference between the higher and the lower category races, the lower category races, they are going to be spread across the road versus being in a straight pace line. So again, I have found a good wheel. You see he's out of the saddle and I am on his wheel. I'm doing 170 watts, staying with him. We're doing 28 miles an hour, and we come through the turn. And this is where I struggle. This spot right there is where I really, really struggle. As we are approaching another group, do I stay on that person's wheel and then be second wheel right now, as he's now looking to see if somebody's going to come over the top of him or what they're going to do? Or do I fall back like I did and get on Frederick's wheel of D9 Foundation? Again, another opportunity for you to let me know what your opinions are and what you think I should do. Let me know, because I'm really interested to hear what you guys got to say. So currently right now, I jump on Andre's wheel as we're making our way through turn number 1. And there's going to be some points I want to show to you all here momentarily. So what you're going to see as we are making our way around the course is that here very soon I'm going to start overlapping him. Here's the first one. Overlapped his wheel one time, and I started to notice that as I put down some wattage, I was easily overtaking his wheels. So coming up here very soon as we go through turn number 2, I overlap him again. So this is the second time of, I believe, 5 times that I overlap his wheel. As we're coming up on the third time, of me overlapping his wheel. And I've realized when you overlap somebody's wheel this many times, something needs to change. Either I need to drop back or I need to progress forward. Of course, I'm trying not to lose any wheels anymore, so what I think I should have done was push forward. But this next one is coming right here. So this is 4 times I've overlapped Andre's wheel. And again, this is nothing on him. This is something that I should have done because I am the one solely in charge of my front wheel. I should have made some adjustments. I should have went ahead and put down some small additional wattage just to push up and maybe get up there by Maximo or somebody ahead, which would have also put me closer to the front of the race, which is an ideal spot to be. So of course you see Nick right there in front of Andre, and we are making our way. We just went through turn number 4, and all is well so far. But as you saw, I just overlapped him again, and when I overlap, I pull to the left. You see Frank coming up underneath or over the top of us as we're coming to the start finish, and the 6th and final overlap is going to get me. Check it out.
CBR December 8th, 20 minutes left. Alex got, oh boy.
So your boy went down, and it wasn't pretty. Scrape on the elbow, left shoulder, left knee, and had a minor concussion. I have fully recovered, hence the recording of this video. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Please comment, like, subscribe. On to the next video and on to 2020 race season. I'll see you guys there. Peace.